Hi, I'm Joan Zacharias, Assistant Librarian at Kaiser University in Tampa. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use RefWorks, an online citation manager that will help you create, save, and organize your references while you search, format them in APA, and generate in-text citations and a bibliography while you write. Your research may lead you to hundreds of sources, especially while conducting the literature review. You need a way to organize all these references. Citation generators, like the tools you see here, are great for generating a few quick citations, but they lack many features that scholars need. For big projects, you need a more feature-rich citation manager, like one of these, that helps you build your own personal database of references and makes working with citations easier all around. Easy to format, create, save, organize and retrieve, and even share. Kaiser University is proud to offer free and full access to RefWorks. Once you've set up your account, you'll have access from any device, anywhere. Let me show you how to create your account. It's very simple. From the library's homepage, kaiserlibrary.com, choose RefWorks from the A to Z database list. This launches a sign-in window. Click on Create Account and follow the simple prompts. Note that you must use your Kaiser University email address, but it's a good idea to use a password that's different from your Office 365 password. Another way to get to this exact same window is just to go to the website, refworks.proquest.com. Or, the first time you export a reference to RefWorks from a library database, you'll get this same window and be prompted to create an account. Note that in any case, you should ignore this Use Login from my institution dropdown. Now just follow the simple prompts to create your new RefWorks account. Let's sign in and explore RefWorks. Let me give you a quick tour of RefWorks. This is called the Project tab. What are you working on? Everything on this whole page will relate to the project you select here. So your thesis might be a single project, for example. I'm going to create a sample project. Click on Manage Projects. And you can either rename the one that's here or you can create a new project. I'm going to rename this default untitled project to Vaccine Hesitancy, which just seems like an interesting random topic. Let's go back to the main page. Now we see it in the Project tab. And while we're touring, I just wanted to point out that over here you can find RefWorks' excellent video tutorials and a Knowledge Center in case you have questions while you're working. Over on the left side, you'll see options for seeing all your references, just those imported in the last 30 days, options for sharing and organizing your folders and tags, and deleting your references. This toolbar across the top has shortcuts for adding references, organizing the folders and tags you'll create, and sharing, citing your references, and more. But first, we need some references. I'll show you how to add references from library databases and Google Scholar, from articles you've downloaded and saved, from within RefWorks, and also from websites. You can easily export references to RefWorks from almost any library database. We would expect the highest level of accuracy and quality control from these databases when it comes to the bibliographic data assigned to the references. Most databases offer direct export to RefWorks and other citation managers. Today I'll show you three databases: ProQuest, EBSCO, and Summonit, which is a discovery tool, meaning that it searches across the library's holdings and beyond. So let's start with a simple search in ProQuest. At this point, if you haven't logged in, you'll be prompted to enter your Office 365 credentials. Let's start with a search, a very simple one. I'm going to choose peer-reviewed articles from, say, the last 3 years, and click Search. These are my results. I know you will be much more judicious than I am in selecting articles, but for our purposes, I'm just going to choose the first three. And now we need to export the references to RefWorks. How do we do that? You can either use the Cite button here, or all Save and Export options, which I'll click on. Export to RefWorks. Oh yes, we need to prove we're not a robot. So what is that word? Let's try this. No. How about this one? Don't laugh at me. Yay. Okay. At this point, you might be asked about the version of RefWorks you're using. Go ahead and check the box that says, no, I'm not using the legacy version of RefWorks, because we don't have any legacy users at Kaiser. So it'll never ask you that again once you check that box. Click on Import. Click OK. And now your articles come into Last Imported automatically. From here, you can route your articles to folders and tag them and edit them. We're going to go over that in a bit. One note before we leave ProQuest. If you're working with Quick Look, your Cite button is here. If you're working with the full text or the full text PDF document, again, your Cite button is here, as well as your all save and export options. And one note about Cite. You'll be doing the work of setting your citation style, checking, editing, and proofreading your references from within RefWorks. So when you see this, it almost doesn't matter what format is used here. It matters if you're actually copying this reference into a document directly, but that is not what we're doing. We're going to be doing all that work in RefWorks. So don't sweat the citation style when working and exporting references from a database. Let's try a quick search in EBSCO. It's a little bit different. Choose all databases and continue. Enter your search terms. Search. And unlike ProQuest, you'll notice that on this page, you won't see any of the cite or export tools. You have to choose an article. So you can choose the article or its full text. And now you start to see the tools for citation, cite, or export. The export tool brings up this menu. Just click on Direct Export to RefWorks and save. And it works exactly the same way from there. If you're using the full text, I just wanted to point out that this is the tool that you want to use right here. And it does exactly the same thing. So that's EBSCO. If you're using a discovery tool like Summonit, let's do a quick search. Here are the results. Notice that there is a Cite button here, as well as a drop-down for more actions, including Export to RefWorks. If you want to explore the article, you can also cite from here. Click on Cite, scroll down, Export as RefWorks. From Google Scholar, you'll need to change one setting. So click here, Settings, Bibliography Manager. Show links to import citations into RefWorks and save. So what happens is when you do your search, my topic, you'll see this below every article and book. Ready to import into RefWorks. RefWorks has integrations with hundreds of databases, but occasionally you'll come across something different. So this is from PubMed Central, which is one of our library databases. If you click on the Cite button, you get something like this. What do you do? What you need to do here is download it as an RIS file, which is just a format. Then go to RefWorks, add a reference, import, and it does say import from an RIS file. And then I guess we can drag and drop right here. So let's do that. Now, we think this file is RIS format. Okay, so let me change it to RIS format. Import. And the import is complete. Again, RefWorks is well connected to the world's databases, but there are unusual things that come up. What we're going to be talking about next is what to do. This one has absolutely no cite options, and typically you would save these PDFs to your hard drive. So how do you get the reference into RefWorks if all you have is the document? We'll be talking about that next. Sometimes you'll encounter a database without a cite or export tool, or maybe you want to cite a book on your shelf or articles you've saved or printed. You can create a reference starting from your RefWorks account. Here's an example. Earlier I saved this article in my hard drive, and I don't remember where I found it exactly. I could search in the databases for it and then export that citation, or I can just go to RefWorks and add it directly. So that's what I'm going to choose. Open RefWorks, click on the plus, create a new reference. And you don't have to put the whole title in here. Watch what it does. Let's put in part of it. And I don't know why I'm capitalizing everything. It's probably not necessary here. Click on the lightning bolt to find and complete a reference using the title. Watch what it does. It searches through its millions of articles and tries to find the best match. And in this case, it did. It found the perfect match. There are also others listed here that are not a match. You can choose it, and it enters all the metadata for you. You will have to check and edit that, and we're going to talk about checking and editing in just a moment. Note that if it doesn't find a match, you will have to enter this data manually. So I click on Save, and now the reference has been added. You can also add a reference by uploading articles you've saved as PDFs. You can upload an article, or as it says, you can also drag files directly into RefWorks. Let's try that. So I have some articles that I've saved to my hard drive as PDFs. Just pick any one at random. And notice you can drag and drop it in. It takes it a minute or so to import it, and it's actually doing that right now. So I'm going to wait for it to show you that it's doing that, but we won't wait for it to finish. I'll show you the finished product. There's our reference. Now, until now, we imported only the reference. Now the actual article is attached, as you can tell by this icon. So when we click on it, it opens up the reference editor so we can make corrections, but also you can read the actual article from here. Editing is extremely important, especially if you use this method. Your citation is only going to be as accurate as the bibliographic data assigned to your article. So let's edit. I noticed, for example, that this needs to be fixed. I need some tags too, because tags are fully searchable. So I could call this a major source. It's about COVID-19 and so on. Also check the DOI. Often they come in this way when they need to look like this. And so on. You'll check page numbers and the issue and volume. Save it, and then you can exit. You will save yourself a lot of time if you edit with care as you add each reference. The only other option is to edit the citations all at once when you're creating your final bibliography, which would be much more time consuming. You can also drag and drop an article into an already saved reference. So let's do that. You have two choices here. Well, let's go get our article. You can drop it here, or I have the reference editor window open. You can drop it right here. So let's do that. Either way. It says download, but I found that the best thing to do here is refresh and give it time. The article is uploading right now. I've also noticed that it's not always successful this way for whatever reason, but when the article is attached, it certainly makes it more convenient for you to access it. So here it is. Again, there it is. The article is there for you to read and use. You can save references or articles, including full text if available, from a website into RefWorks using the Save to RefWorks plugin. Here's where you can find the plugin. Click on Tools, install Save to RefWorks, then drag this to your favorites bar. There it is. So while searching the web, you can use the tool to not only save articles, but also websites with the option to include the website text. Let's take a look at how that works. Save to RefWorks. I would like to save the contents, add any tags, check the data, authors, website name. I noticed that oftentimes the date is missing, so we'll add that. And save to RefWorks. Import. And let's view this in RefWorks. Notice that the icon indicates that the text is attached, and indeed it is. You'll save yourself a lot of time if you edit with care as you add each reference. The only other option is to edit the citations all at once when creating your final bibliography, which will be more time-consuming. So after you add a reference, open the reference editor, click on the pen, and just take a look and make sure that the capitalization looks good, the author names are correct. And I noticed on this one that this 11 to 21 is just a RefWorks placeholder that you'll see on every reference. So the page number actually needs to be this, 288 to 295. Make sure the DOI address looks correct and save. Now for easy editing, I usually have several windows open while I'm editing the references. The library homepage, Google Scholar, just to check various bits of data, search.crossref.org to check DOI and other metadata, and even a URL shortener, just in case you have a really long website name. RefWorks can help you stay organized. Here are all my references, but they don't have any particular organization. RefWorks has some wonderful tools for staying organized. Click on My Folders, Add Folder, give your folder a name, and save. You can have as many folders as you want and as many subfolders as you want. Just click on the kebab icon and add subfolder. To get your references into a folder, you can work from the Not In folder, Last Imported, or All References, and all you need to do is drag and drop. You can do multiples at a time. You can even assign one reference to multiple folders using Assign to Folder. To get rid of a reference, choose it and click Delete. It moves it to the trash, but it stays in the trash in case you need to move it to an active folder. Once you delete something from deleted documents, however, it is gone forever, and it will give you a warning. We've seen how you can import or attach the full text of most articles, websites, and other documents to RefWorks. This icon indicates an attachment that you can open and read. So let's open one and read it. Notice the tools. You can print, download, highlight, comment, or add notes about the entire document. This is also the reference editor if you need to do some changes to the metadata. So let's try to do some highlighting. How about the purpose of the study? Place my cursor and highlight. When I click on it, I can change the color and I can add a comment. I can also add a note. And I can add a note about the entire document. The information is retained. So when we go back to it, we'll find our note and the comments that we made and the highlighting that we did. Try it and see. It might work for you. Viewing your references. You have options for displaying and sorting your references. This is the normal view, the one we've been using. The table view displays the references horizontally. Fewer fields, but easier to scan quickly. Full view shows the folders, tags, attachments, and more, and offers another chance to edit. You should take full advantage of what's called citation view. It will help you troubleshoot what's missing and how does it know which style to use. Click on the gear icon and choose the recommended style for RefWorks, APA 7th Basic, etc. If you use sentence casing, which is here for you to choose if you want, what will happen is that even if you've edited your titles so that proper nouns are capitalized, everything's going to come out lowercased according to what it says here. So use this one when you're using RefWorks and save. Notice that in Citation View, it shows you any missing data according to APA style. So you need to click on this one, and I looked it up earlier, edit, and add the missing information. So I think it was volume 24, issue number 1, and save. And while you're in this view, scroll down and see if there's anything that needs to be fixed. Like I noticed the DOI is not correct in this one, so let's fix it very quickly. Here it is. Make sure you add that. Come on. https://doi.org/ and save. These look pretty good now. Using your references. Your library of references is ready to deploy while you write. So here's my sample paper. I'm going to put my cursor where I want my first in-text citation. Go to RefWorks. I'm in the All References folder. Create bibliography, quick cite, choose the citation style, continue, and I'll just randomly choose a citation that I want to include. Notice the preview. I'm copying it. This star tells it to include it in the bibliography since I'm using it. Go back to my paper and right-click to insert. Notice the 3 choices here. Source formatting may not be the right choice for you because it's a different font and it's in gray. So unless you're working in this particular font and in gray, choose one of these other options and make any adjustments that you need to. What if you need more than one citation? I'm going back to Quick Cite. I will take this one and this one and this one. And notice the preview again. I'm copying it, going back to my paper, and right-click to insert. You can create your bibliography from QuickCite. but there is a better way, especially for a project this large. Here's how to generate the reference list. While you're writing, you'll need a strategy for keeping track of which citations you've used. One idea: since references can be assigned to more than one folder, you could create a folder like this called Cited or something similar and update it as you write, like this. Remember that we used these 4 references so far. Assign to folder, and let's assign it to the Cited folder and click Apply. They've now been added to a Cited folder. If anything should change and you don't need to include one, you'll just click Delete and Remove from Folder to keep it up to date. So now let's create our bibliography. Create bibliography, and you can select references or use all. Choose your citation style. You can review it or preview it. Copy to clipboard. And let's go to our thesis. I'm right-clicking. Remember that the source formatting is probably not the font or color of text that you need, so let's choose either merge formatting or keep text only and make the simple changes to put it in APA style. I'm adding the hanging indent and click OK. Another way to do this is to create a word style, which I did here, called references. Now, as you look through this, if you notice any errors, it's important that you go back to RefWorks, edit the reference, and then generate a new bibliography. If you just fix it in this Word document, the error will persist. Once again, always, always proofread your citations. Always. One final feature, in case you need, is the ability to share your references. If the person you're sharing with does not have a RefWorks account, you can still share folders with limited functionality. Use Share, Share Folder, or Sharing, Share a Folder. Choose the folder, invite, and so on. You control the level of access. If the person you're sharing with has a RefWorks account, you can share the whole project. Here are some helpful resources. ProQuest, the company that owns RefWorks, is constantly making product improvements and is always open to user suggestions. Please reach out to me, Joan Zacharias, or any Kaiser University librarian if you need help. Good luck.